Désormais du CSP, qu'il y avait deux ailes. Il y avait une aile qu'on a dit une aile droitière qui ne voulait pas du tout, qui sentait venir en Sankara une révolution, mais l'autre elle disait non, nous n'avons pas fait ça pour ça. Donc, nous ne voulons pas couper les liens avec tel ou tel pays, ainsi de suite.
Depuis son domicile à Ouagadougou, l'aide de camp joue l'interface avec des organisations de gauche et d'autres camarades. Le camp d'en face décide de freiner ses initiatives et lui intime l'ordre de rejoindre son ancien poste à Bobo Dioulasso. Il fait d'abord de la résistance avant de céder à de sages conseils.
Il y a le général Tamini à l'époque qui était chef d'état-major, c'était le colonel, il m'a appelé. Il dit, je connais ton père, je sais pourquoi tu restes à Ouaga, mais tu ne rends pas service à tes camarades. Il vaut mieux que tu rejoignes Bobo, parce qu'ils savent ce que tu fais, et si tu ne rejoins pas Bobo, tu vas aller en prison.
Le colonel Moussa Diallo rejoint Bobo Dioulasso, mais la pression populaire demeure. Parmi les organisations engagées, l'Union des luttes communistes. Au moment des faits, Firmin Diallo est militant de l'ULC. Il s'en souvient.
L'agitation a été très forte. À partir de ce moment-là, lorsque on a pris ces arrestations, d'abord il fallait se battre pour que l'agitation exige leur libération. Ça, c'est... Deuxièmement, montrer que bon, la cohabitation était difficile, il fallait aller plus loin dans les transformations. Donc l'agitation s'est poursuivie. Quand Blaise a rejoint Pau, ce qui s'est passé, c'est que nous avons mobilisé les populations pour aller renforcer, aller se former déjà à Pau, de manière clandestine tout au plus, tout au moins je dis, et préparer éventuellement l'affrontement, parce que c'était comme ça que c'était prévu. Des négociations à l'intérieur des militaires là-bas ont été entamées pour essayer de calmer le jeu, etc. Et finalement, pour calmer le jeu, et sous la pression justement des luttes qu'on menait, ils ont été obligés de libérer Lengani et Thomas. Mais ça n'a pas arrêté l'agitation. L'agitation s'est poursuivie et les réunions se tenaient pratiquement tous les soirs.
Thomas Sankara finit par être libéré face aux manifestations populaires soutenues par les partis de gauche et les syndicats. L'autre atout des partisans du Premier ministre d'alors, le retrait de Blaise Compaoré vers Pau, d'où est partie la révolution d'août 83.
Il y a eu du sable dans l'engrenage. Le détachement du SNEC de Pau qui était au camp Guillaume a refusé de se rendre. Donc c'était devenu un problème à résoudre, ça tournait au conflit. Et comme ils n'osaient pas les affronter, ils ont commencé à négocier. Et l'autre chose qui les a vraiment perturbés, c'est que Blaise n'a pas été arrêté. Il a fui, il est parti à Pau, il s'est replié à Pau, il a envoyé la résistance. Au départ, ils ont voulu l'attaquer, ils ont fait venir des troupes de Dédougou et tout ça. Mais les gens sont rendus compte que s'ils voulaient l'attaquer, il y aurait beaucoup de cadavres sur le carreau.
Depuis l'arrestation de nos camarades militaires, Thomas Sankara, Lengani, etc., et pendant que Blaise était à Pau, toutes les semaines, tous les week-ends, j'avais une 304 à l'époque, je partais d'ici pour aller faire le point de notre situation ici à Blaise, à Pau.
Le 4 août 1983, la garnison insurgée de Pau arrive à Ouagadougou, accompagnée d'une foule en liesse. Ce nouveau coup d'État consacre la victoire de l'aile progressiste, de l'armée menée par le capitaine Thomas Sankara. Il est placé à la présidence du Conseil national de la Révolution. Le président du CNR constitue un gouvernement avec le Parti africain de l'indépendance et l'Union des luttes communistes.
Today, all the world pay tribute to Thomas Sankara through a symbolic place, Thomas Sankara Memorial, and included Thomas Sankara Mausoleum, unveiled today. I have two guests with me, Ibrahim Traore, a politics analyst, and Yunus from United States. You are the leader of the Afro-Descendant Union. Thank you for coming to this live show. My first question is, Yunus, the president of FASO, Captain Ibrahim Traore, in his address said Thomas Sankara doesn't belong to Burkina Faso only, but to all the world, all the fighting people. You are the testimony of this statement. Thomas Sankara belongs to the black American, to the American generally. How do you appreciate this initiative of constructing a memorial, including the museum, to pay tribute to Thomas Sankara memory?
Well, I say it's about time. That's what I feel about it. He should be memorialized. All of our leaders should be memorialized. If we memorialize Jesus, Moses, etc., because they inspired us, they inspired revolutions. They were revolutionaries as well. So why shouldn't we memorialize a great like Thomas Sankara, who did the same thing that they did, put their lives on the line for the liberation of a people? I'm inspired since I was a youth because of Thomas Sankara. I'm proud to wear a beret today because of Thomas Sankara. And many in America are inspired by Thomas Sankara. One of my closest friends, he renamed himself Sankara. He had the English name because of our enslavement, and we adopted slave names, as we call them, but he named himself Thomas Sankara in that honor. Many of us are in the revolutionary conscious movement. We are inspired by Thomas Sankara, and we seek to carry on that legacy with our actions today.
Ibrahim Traore, Sankara, an icon in Burkina Faso, but all over the world. How do you appreciate this initiative of constructing a symbolic place, a mausoleum? That's the first step of a memorial to Thomas Sankara.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mr. Tanga, for inviting me on your TV station to give my standpoint on this issue of paramount importance. Because when you talk about Thomas Sankara today, you are talking about a worldwide issue. Is that the reason why you are saying that Thomas Sankara does not only belong to Burkina Faso, but the whole world, quoting the Prime Minister in his speech? I totally agree, fully agree with this declaration of the Prime Minister, because Thomas Sankara was fighting for justice. And there is injustice everywhere in the world. Thomas Sankara was fighting for the cause of the poor, and there are poor people everywhere in the world. Thomas Sankara wanted everybody, men, women, and children, to eat and drink at their satisfaction. And all over the world, there are people who are hungry, who are thirsty. So the world has given birth to Thomas Sankara to come and defend it. So Thomas Sankara is worldwide. Thomas Sankara belongs to everybody, no matter the colors, the religion, and the ethnic.
Yunus, we know that Thomas Sankara visited United States, and he went to a symbolic place, Harlem. And in the United States, what's the legacy of Thomas Sankara revolution in the United States? What have the perception of the American, of our leader, Thomas Sankara?
Unfortunately, the American government has tried to bury the legacy of Thomas Sankara. They don't want memorialization of a figure like that to be in our minds because it will inspire us. So they try to bury him. But those of us who gain some consciousness, we dig up the history books. We learn about what happened in Africa. We learn about the revolutions, and we definitely learn about Thomas Sankara, so we're inspired by that. So all of us who are in the movement, we represent him through our actions, and we remember him and we honor Thomas Sankara. The legacy lives on. But we are proud today to say that the legacy is alive through the new president, the current president of Burkina Faso.
Okay. Ibrahim, before asking your question, I would like to give a brief presentation of Thomas Sankara, the one that is celebrated today all over the world. Thomas Sankara is an anti-imperialist, Pan-Africanist, sovereignist, all these qualifiers for one and the same vision that were carried out by Captain Thomas Sankara, and who is the leader, the father of the democratic and popular revolution of Burkina Faso, a revolution proclaimed on August 4th, 1983, when he took power. Born on December 25th, 1949 in Yako, in the province of Pasori province, Thomas Sankara attended primary school in Gawa, where he was also a child by heart, and the secondary school at Lycée Ouezen Koulibaly in Bobo Dioulasso. and the second cycle in Ouagadougou in the Prytanée Militaire du Kadiogo, a prestigious military school. And after passing his high school diploma, Thomas Sankara entered the Military Academy of Madagascar for an advanced training. He returned to Upper Volta at that time in 1973 with the rank of sub-lieutenant. In 1976, he was first commander of the SENEC, the National Commander Training Center, located in Po, Niaouré province. Left militant, nourished by the ideas of the Revolutionary and Proletarian International, he founded with friends and political comrades such as Blaise Compaoré, Arizongo, Jean-Baptiste Bukari Lingani, the group of communist officers, a political military branch of the then Upper Volta Army. Sankara was appointed in September 1981 as Secretary of State for Information in the government of Colonel Seizerbo before resigning with a fracas. With this famous statement, the unfortunate are those who gag the people. On November 7, 1982, a coup against the regime of Seizerbo brought to power the mayor and physician Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo. Sankara became his prime minister in January 1983. On 17th May of the same year, he was dismissed and placed under house arrest. On 4th August 1983, at the head of a military column of the garrison of Po, Blaise Compaoré, who had been in a rebellion since the arrest of Thomas Sankara, descended on Ouagadougou and took the power. The RDP, the Democratic and Popular Revolution, is thus proclaimed. Its governing body is the National Council of the Revolution, and Thomas Sankara became president of the CNA, head of state. Immediately after taking power, Thomas Sankara and the CNA embarked on a proactive policy of transforming voltaic society. On the first anniversary of the revolution, he changed the name of the country, the national anthem, and the flag. The Upper Volta thus has become Burkina Faso, or country of upright people. La Fière Volta, sorry. So it's La Fière Volta, who was the national anthem, is replaced by the Ditanière, or the anthem of the victory. On it's very long. Mm-hmm. So on 15th of October 1987, Thomas Sankara was assassinated in a coup ending 4 years of revolution, 38 years after his death. Thomas Sankara is still and remains an icon for all the world. Killed before his death, as he made prophecy, he stated that if you kill Sankara today, thousands of Sankara will be born. Ibrahim, how do you appreciate this legacy, and how do you see the correlation between Thomas Sankara revolution and the second phase of this revolution, the progressist and popular revolution of Ibrahim Traore?
Okay, let me consider this quote by Thomas Sankara. If you kill Thomas Sankara today, tomorrow the sun will rise with thousands of Sankara. Okay, this is a good quote. Exactly, we are numerous. We have thousands and thousands of Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso, in America, in Europe, in everywhere, all over the world, in Japan, in China. Okay, very good. So it is a prophecy. You know, you can kill someone, but you cannot kill their ideas. So in our traditional society, there is saying that someone can be dead while he is not finished. But someone can be alive while he is finished. Thomas Sankara is dead, but he's not finished. So, and this leads me to make the correlation between the revolution of Thomas Sankara and the revolution of Captain Traore, because the revolution of Captain Traore come from the revolution of Thomas Sankara. The revolution of Captain Traore is a continuation of the revolution of Thomas Sankara. When Thomas Sankara was dead, he left behind some projects which were still going on, some ideas which needed to be implemented. But we needed a bold guy, a courageous person to come and pursue these ideas. And this person is Captain Ibrahim Traore. So the root of the revolution of Captain Ibrahim Traore are to be found in the revolution of Thomas Sankara. I can just say that Captain Traore is revolution, is the son of Thomas Sankara revolution.
Yunus, from the United States of America, what kind of correlation do you make between the two revolutions?
Actually, it's greater today. It's the same thing, but at a bigger scale. 20 or 30 or so years ago, we didn't have internet. We didn't have social media. We couldn't spread the word. Many didn't know about Thomas Sankara until later on we began to read about him. But now, on the day of his inauguration of a mausoleum about his death, it's somebody that is actually embodiment, him alive, Traore. So we are celebrating inaugurating a mausoleum of someone who was assassinated, but at the same time, he's resurrected through a new president. And that new president has the ear and the eyes of the world, so it's even at a greater level. And because of what happened to Thomas Sankara, and because of the love that we have for what he did, and now for what Traore is doing, President Traore is doing, we are now mobilizing and saying never again. See, we're not only just honoring him, but we're honoring and remembering what happened. And when we remember what happened, we say, we're not going to allow it to happen again. It lives on through President Ibrahim Traore, and we're going to champion him because we're all Thomas Sankara and Traore's.
Okay. So this unveiling ceremony of Thomas Sankara Museum, we have seen the participation, many officials from all Africa, from all the world, the prime ministers from Senegal and Chad, and all the fighting peoples all around the world. How do you appreciate this participation of this symbolic place, the unveiling of this symbolic place, the Mausoleum Thomas Sankara?
Yeah, well, it's always appreciation for people of high standing to honor someone like Thomas Sankara. So that's what we saw today. But beyond the symbolism, I want them to go back to their countries and represent the actions of Thomas Sankara the same way President Ibrahim Traore is representing those actions. So it's an honor. It's great to see big people honor a great man, but now carry on that legacy. All the people will rise and carry it on without you.
You are the leader of the Afro-Descendant Union. Are you a link? Do you have a link between this union and the ideal of Thomas Sankara? Are you discussing from time to time?
We're following his idea of self-determination. We're engaged in promotion of what's called Black Summer, where we're rising up in America to declare our independence, to stop the internal colonization of black people in America via our right of self-determination. So we're following the legacy and getting inspiration from Thomas Sankara, but today, just some weeks ago, we were all marching and standing up for the new Thomas Sankara, President Ibrahim Traore. So the legacy is alive and well in America, and we're following that example, and we're going to see it through to victory.
Okay. Ibrahim, what the main challenge of the youth today to support the second phase of 83 revolution, I can call it so, the revolution of Ibrahim Traore? What's the challenge and what's the task of the youth in this specific period of history?
Okay, this is a good question. You know, today there are some advantages the youth have, and which did not exist in the time of Thomas Sankara. Today there are social media, the youth is awakened, there are radio stations everywhere, there are televisions everywhere, so the youth can communicate easily. When something happened today in Ouagadougou, 5 minutes later, you have information in the villages. So this is an advantage for the youth. So I want the youth to take the social media as a weapon to defend Captain Traore. I want the youth to use the media to protect Captain Traore, to raise the awareness of the people, to organize a awareness-raising campaign in all the villages in Burkina Faso and in Africa to talk about the revolution, to promote the revolution. And I want this revolution to be duplicated in all the countries of Africa.
Yes.
Because in the time of Thomas Sankara, he was alone. He was alone, facing everybody. So now there is Mali, there is Niger, there is Burkina Faso. And in the time of Thomas Sankara, there was no social media. You couldn't call someone. There were no smartphone. So all of these are tools available for the youth to embark on a fight to protect the president, to develop the country, to work hard.
Okay, let me remind the reason why this date has been chosen for the unveiling ceremony of the mausoleum. As a reminder, Thomas Sankara's arrest on 17th May 1983 was a pivotal moment in the modern history of Burkina Faso, then called Upper Volta. At the time, Thomas Sankara was serving as Prime Minister under President Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo, but tensions were already high due to the Sankara's growing popularity, his revolutionary rhetoric, and his alignment with progressive and leftist ideologies. And Sankara has been appointed Prime Minister in January 1983, but quickly emerged as a charismatic figure with a strong anti-imperialist views. His influence, especially among the youth and the military, began to overshadow President Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo, France, and Côte d'Ivoire, which were wary of Sankara's revolutionary leaning, believed to have influenced Ouedraogo's decision to arrest Sankara. Sankara's increasing criticism on neo-colonialism and the privilege of the ruling elite alarmed the conservative element in power. And then on 17th May 1983, he was arrested along with other progressive officers, including Captain Blaise Compaoré, sparking national and international outrage. The arrest provoked massive protests, particularly among the students and workers. Among the students and workers, the slogan, "Where is Sankara?" became a... Okay. Now, we know now the choice of this date to celebrate or to inaugurate, to unveil the mausoleum Thomas Sankara. Ibrahim Traore, did you know this history?
Yeah, I have been reading about Thomas Sankara since my high school days when I was still a pupil in secondary school. So what I know on the basis of history is that the Prime Minister Sankara and Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo were ruling the country together, but there were difficulties, there were misunderstandings because they didn't share the same ideology. And as you said, Thomas Sankara was from the left wing, and Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo was in the right wing. So it was difficult for them to have a common vision for the country. So finally, this arrest happened. It was a plot organized by Western countries because Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo was said to be pro-imperialist and Thomas Sankara was anti-imperialist. So this is the reason why there was an arrest of Thomas Sankara on May 17, 1983.
Okay. Yunus, soon you will be back at the United States. How will you move back? What is the image of Burkina Faso with which you will move back?
Well, of course, I'm going back first to Egypt. We're doing some things in Egypt. We're going back to the United States. We're inspired by what has been going on currently with the Sahel states and President Ibrahim Traore. The legacy of Thomas Sankara has been there amongst us, the revolutionaries of America. But now the new inspiration, so we're going back with new inspiration as we embark upon what we call Black Summer, and we want that to happen all over Africa, where we're rising up to declare independence in America as black folks. Black people and black people in Africa. Africans must stand up and declare their total independence and enjoyment of self-determination, just like President Ibrahim Traore, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are doing. So we're doing the same thing in America. I'm going back to America with extra inspiration from what's going on here, and we're going to do the same thing, stand up courageously, just like the presidents of these nations here in the Sahel region.
Thank you both, Ibrahim. Thank you, Yunus, for coming to this live show on the annual ceremony of Mausoleum Thomas Sankara. Thank you for your participation. See you next time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nous sommes toujours dans la région du centre-ouest et vous aurez encore du bilan avec la